Hey everybody, we're on a -1 streak. I'm bad at Isaac, and the game has given me an incredible bounty lately from which to draw from. Lazarus, okay, here's a guy. You can build a house around Lazarus. You could show the seeds. C6DS 14 HV. Yesterday's run. If there's any disappointment in it, like I thought we played pretty well. If there's any disappointment in it, I thought it was that it ended with kind of a whimper. You know, I expected we would at least make it to like Blue Baby and maybe get blown out. We kind of made it over some serious hurdles, and then just a couple of enemies who shot troll bombs, and my speed was 0.85. You know, it makes it very tough to kind of get your way out of that. I figured, why not? Why not? Why not check the pill? 10 rate of fire? Like, I'm so freaking, like, keeper drunk right now with triple shot and cursed eye. The 10 rate of fire, it actually feels like I'm firing like an Uzi right now. I mean, I wouldn't know what that feels like, to be fair. But I imagine, you know, from all the hip-hop that I listen to, it goes grat, something like that. I don't know how to make those noises. I've tried. It's just embarrassing. I've realized that I've become my dad. You know, for my generation, you know, trying to make gun noises with your mouth is, and failing, by the way, is kind of that cringe moment. For my dad, it was like, hey, Dad, you know, you want to play catch? Oh, for shizzle. You're like, oh, Dad, come on, man. You shouldn't be trying to imitate Snoop Dogg, you know? We occupy, he's a platinum recording artist. You're my dad, you know? I don't need my dad to be Snoop Dogg. He's already my best friend. I'm just kidding. I've never met Snoop. I don't think he's Snoop Dogg anymore. He's just Snoop, right? Imagine if he called his album Snoopy Style instead of Doggy Style. Do you think he'd still be the kind of legendary member of the hip-hop community that you know and love today? I don't know. Anyway, it's a Friday, TGIF baby. Having a good week so far. Excited to see it continue. Is there an enemy? There's an enemy somewhere. Looking forward to the day off this week, though. I think I mentioned it, but like last week, not really complaining so much, you know, it's just reality, but last week, you know, on my day off, I did my taxes. Didn't take the whole day, you know, it just took a few hours, but still, you kind of feel like you're not having a day off because you're reliving the financial stress of everything you purchased last year. You know, and you're like, what the heck? Why we buy so much food? We really need this much food starting from tomorrow. You know, we're eating every other day. Oh, this food budget is absurd. Anyway, long story short. I guess that's not even taxes. That's more of like a budgeting thing, and I'm joking to begin with. But, you know what? Go ahead, hit me. Come on, hit me. I want you to hit me. Because now we got anemia, which hard counters you. And I had the audacity to put this item in the C tier. How dare you? How dare I, man? Regardless, I forgot what I was saying, man. Just talking about Friday. Friday. Gotta get down on my day. Everybody's looking forward to the weekend. I did see... Look, I mean, I think we may have talked about this. I definitely talked about it on stream. If your opinions if you want to know my opinion of the Friday Hyperpop remix, my opinion is not good, but that's fine. I've only heard 2 songs that I believe came out in the year 2021. One of them is Rebecca Black's Friday Hyperpop remix. The other one is Cardi B's Up, and I would say that Up is you know, look, I listen to a lot of Steely Dan, I listen to a lot of Yes. This kind of stuff isn't necessarily in my wheelhouse to begin with, but you know, when I was listening to Up, I was like, yo, it's got a little hook to it. What is Cardi short for cardigan? That's the sorry, oh, cringe. Like, oh, it's a little cold out, let me put my cardi on. People say that? Do people Do people say that from time to time? Ghost baby. Oh, okay, that's going to change everything, man. So I think that we should leave one spirit heart there, because I think we'll probably try to get ourselves respawning on this floor. But we'll take one spirit heart to protect ourselves from the possibility of taking damage and losing our deal with the devil. This is an advanced level play. It's called a split spirit heart gambit. Not everybody is cut out for this kind of, you know, degree of moving parts that is in an Isaac run, but, you know, we're going to really try to make it work here. A lot of question marks, huh? Glowing hourglass. Great item. Great item. I can't shake the feeling. It's still early. I'm not trying to be bitter, but still can't shake the feeling that I've had about a streak of maybe like 15 to 20 item rooms that have either been active items or passive items that aren't very good. But, you know, of course, that's, I mean, that might even be mathematically what you expect when, you know, you look at the tier list and, like, you know, 60% of the items in Isaac I ranked at the D tier. Perhaps the problem is with me. Perhaps the problem, you know, lies with the game. Perhaps the answer is somewhere in the middle. I don't know. Okay, this, you know, I gotta say it made my case for me when they paid out with 3 troll bombs out of those opportunities there, but just saying. 6 weeks till repentance, baby. 6 weeks till repentance. That could be my new character. I was thinking of, like, if I wanted to get on No Pixel, the streamer role-playing server. Maybe I could be the guy who calls Cardi B Cardigan B. Let's listen to some Cardigan B. Playboy Cardigan. I don't know if I'll get involved. I haven't asked yet. Nobody's offered, which is not really, like, I don't know. I'm not saying that they should. Just, like, the opportunity hasn't come up yet. Let's put it that way. Okay, wooden spoon. We're probably just, yeah, we're going to go hard on this. Death's Touch is great. Maw of the Void is also pretty great. Book of Belial, you know, is it better than Glowing Hourglass? Probably not at this present moment. Just make sure you don't step on spikes on your way back. That's the money maker. Then this run is exactly what we've asked for. And you laughed at my split Spirit Heart Gambit. You laughed at it. How dare you? Now you're all gonna pay. But I previously, and I'm not shy about this necessarily, but previously I had watched a little No Pixel. You know, in like No Pixel 2 or No Pixel 1, which is, again, the streamer Grand Theft Auto 5 role-playing server. And it struck me, I don't know if it was like the people I was watching, but it was just like a lot of streamers, you know, bless them, doing their best at improv. I'm not saying I'm like an improv expert or anything like, oh my god. I'm not saying I'm an improv expert or anything like that, but it was just a lot of like, you know, watching a streamer struggle to maintain a consistent accent for like, you know, hours and hours and hours. And I thought it was a little, you know, not for me. Then I watched, like, No Pixel 3. I've watched a little bit so far. And I was laughing, like, more than I've laughed with any Twitch content in a long time. I don't know if it was, like, if I've changed or if the streamers have stepped up their game, but I think they're killing it. I was watching Hassan play a little bit, and, you know, his companion was like, yeah, they took my... you know, my friend didn't pay his debt at the casino, so they, like, took his eyebrows, and they've never grown back ever since. And Hassan said, what the heck did they do to him? Laser epilation? I know that it doesn't sound like, what's the joke? The joke is that right off the top of his head, the phrase laser epilation is so good. And then, like, just the absurd concept of, like, the mafia being like, you know, you didn't pay your debts. Now we're gonna hurt you real bad. And then the guy's like, "What are you gonna do to me? Take my thumb?" And they're like, "Nah, we're gonna give you 3 2-hour treatments. So we're gonna laser your eyebrows off." Like that's hilarious, man. If you don't find that funny, go back to, you know, Dane Cook's 2006 special, okay? No offense, Mr. Cook. Okay, hold on. This is, like, incredible, but I gotta think about what I want. No matter what, you're gonna want this. And then, because we have 9 lives, we can take whatever we want. I think we should just take all of that. That's amazing, man. And then I was watching, Sips play, and he was just in line for like, I don't know, you gotta eat to survive in the game, so he was just in line to buy some hamburgers. And then this guy just walked up to him and was like, hey, you ever wonder why there's no babies in Los Santos? And Sips was like, why? And he said, because Adam White eats them all. Never forget that. And he just walked away. And I was like, man, this is... I don't know who Adam White is, but I'm eager to see how this story evolves from here. Like, this is crazy, man. I think it would be a lot of fun. But I need to find a way to get involved. I also, you know, I don't really want to put on... It seems like there's a lot of people on the server that are basically just adopting, like, heavy, you know, American Southern accents. What if I was just, like, a mild-mannered, you know, accountant, but with a terrible secret? And the terrible secret slowly revealed itself over the course of the season. That's because I don't necessarily want to wade into the minefield of having to do an accent constantly on stream. Sounds kind of exhausting for sure. I'm not saying it's not funny. It's more just like, you know, tiresome for the streamer. Okay, stop taking dumb damage. Use your glowing hourglass for a purpose at some point. I don't even know what I'm doing here anymore, man. But yeah, I think it could be cool. It's cool content. I mean, at least it's something different, man. At least it's something different. That's what I'm doing it on Twitch, don't get me wrong. I mean, like, just in the last week, like, as of 1 week ago, you know, we played some European game show video games that were jank as heck. And then, like, you know, the next stream, I took my British practice driving test. And then, you know, we were playing all sorts of, like, meme-related stuff, don't get me wrong. But that's what I'm always eager to see more of, for sure. I think we're just scratching the surface of what a platform... And YouTube's the same, don't get me wrong. But I think we're just scratching the surface of what a content platform like Twitch can do, man. I still, like... I just wish that, like, there was a better way to do watch parties. I wonder... And this is, like, a little ambitious. The problem with doing watch parties, if you're not familiar with them, watch parties are like Amazon's... well, Twitch's ability to do React content that's licensed through Amazon Prime. So anything that's on Amazon Prime is available to legally be watch partied. But the thing is, Amazon, first off, you gotta be a Prime subscriber, which probably, well, you don't have to subscribe to me via Prime, but you have to subscribe to Amazon Prime. That probably describes only like maybe 30% maximum of the audience. And then on top of that, you know, if it's not a Prime original, there's only certain parts of the world where different, like, region locks are different in different places. Like, you know, for example, in Canada, there's actually a lot of trashy American reality TV shows on Amazon Prime, which is awesome. The problem is they're not on Amazon Prime in America, you know, because they're owned by, like, the original networks that don't exist in Canada. So they, you know, they're not selling them for pennies on the dollar. I wonder if you could buy the rights for, like, obviously some of the stuff is going to cost you, like, you know, 7 figures, so probably not, but I bet there's some trashy shows out there where, like, you could buy the rights to do, like, watch party content for, like, you know, 5 or 10 grand. I'm not saying that's worth it, I'm just saying it's a little bit more feasible than, you know, like, $10 million or something. Anyway, I'm probably never going to touch upon this again. I'm just saying... There's a chance, man. There's a chance. I wish I'm not so stupid. I wish that that it was easier to do that stuff for sure, but it has come a long way, you know? Like, sometimes, and again, this is like, you know, you gotta acknowledge, I'm trying to play it safe, you know? I don't want to lose my Twitch channel to a completely preventable DMCA. Sometimes people will be like, oh, other streamers just watch full episodes of, like, you know, 90 Day Fiancé and then react to them. Yeah, I mean, other streamers, you know, they sometimes, like, they don't take the same precautions. It doesn't mean, like, just because you got away with something, you know, in 2019 doesn't mean the algorithm's not gonna, you know, get a little bit more sophisticated in 2023 and all of a sudden you're gonna be like, well, I wish I didn't do that. But, you know, it's just different strokes for different folks, you know? I'm trying to build something copacetic. And also not lose it by, like, deliberately breaking the terms of service like that. But yeah, you know, I think there's... I don't know if I'd ever see myself as, like, an IRL streamer. Because I find it, like, I mean... This is pre-COVID, obviously, but, like, when IRL streaming took off... What it really struck me as is, like, just multiplying the number of Tom Greens out there by, like, you know, a factor of 10,000. Like, instead of having one or two, you had, like, one, you know, Johnny Knoxville and Steve-O sort of situation, and then you had, like, you know, one Tom Green. Now there were, like, a million Tom Greens out there, like, hey, you know, you gave me $10 in the when I was at the grocery store, so I'm gonna yell out like, oh, you know, everybody get down on the ground or something like that. I just found it kind of obnoxious, you know? Not that everybody that was doing IRL was doing that stuff, but even just like, I don't know, I always thought it was weird when people would like IRL stream and they're like, they have their cameras on when they're like eating at a restaurant and stuff like that. I'm like, man, other people are there just like trying to decompress and enjoy their day, you know, and I don't even want this item, man, because I'm trying to get Empty Vessel to work, but they're just trying to like enjoy life, you know. Maybe this is like, you know, one of their 2 days off a week, and this is their favorite restaurant. All of a sudden they got like, you know, a table of 9 streamers sitting next to them, just like, you know, broadcasting their face to like 15,000 people. Like, it always struck me as just kind of like a little impolite at the bare minimum, and oftentimes disruptive, even if maybe you didn't intend it to be disruptive. But anyway, maybe that's that kind of attitude has held me back a little bit. But you know, like non-gaming content style content is more intriguing to me, but still using the games as a platform. You know, like in No Pixel. Okay, like I think I've established, like the game is trying to tempt me into taking pills. They're giving me nothing but pills. With some game content as well, don't get me wrong, but... And I think we've done a good job of that this year, but we shouldn't be talking about the content so much. We're on Necropolis 2 already. Shoop the... You know what? I don't know how to use Glowing Hourglass properly. We might as well admit it. Dude, I'm so stoked. So this is like a much, much, much better than average Isaac run. But it feels good to just be, like, having fun playing the game. I do think people sometimes, you know, they'll say things like, you know, if you're not having fun with something, you know, I don't want to see it anymore. I have fun with Isaac. The only problem is, it's impossible to know whether you're having fun with it until you get, you know, 60% of the way through the run. You know, after you beat Mom, usually you have some kind of indication of whether this is going to be a disaster or whether you're going to kind of cruise. This is a cruise, for example. But you know, you never know. And that kind of slot machine aspect is an element of the enjoyability of this game as well. I don't think anybody could disagree with that. The idea of not knowing whether it's going to be a you know, good run or a trash run. It's part of the fun. Now, I could use another Tears upgrade. I'm not trying to... Oh, dude, I just realized I'm so stupid. We have the paperclip. Why are we not opening every golden chest we come across? Well, you know... There was only one, now that I think about it. But, well, you got me there, because I wasn't paying attention. I was focused on, you know, insulting other streamers, I suppose. No, I prefer being able to open... I think I prefer being able to open every golden chest, especially because we're light on keys. I think we will take battery. I'm going to say why not, because some rooms we're just going to walk into and wreck with Maw of the Void. But yeah, I don't know. Like, I think if I had like any other kind of content that I was like interested in making, I would be interested like in making like good mythical morning style content, not in like a morning show context, but like the rankings that they do of stuff like that, like the, you know, March Madness, Munch Madness. Like, we got 64 snacks, we put them in a bracket, and we're trying to figure out like what's the best snack. That stuff's kind of that appeals to me a little bit, mostly because my brain is made of like cheddar cheese. I have no interest in making video essays that are like, you know, here's, you know, oh, 2,700 times that a continuous shot was used in True Detective Season 1. Like, it's not really the stuff I want to make. Instead, you know, what about a blind taste test of Coke, Pepsi, and RC Cola? And then, you know, here's my favorite, here's my least favorite. It's the kind of stuff I'm a little bit more... I mean, and again, like, it's alongside the gaming stuff. Again, and it's not like out of a just thinking of defending myself, because this is a very straw man argument, but sometimes whenever you're like, oh, I'd like to make more non-gaming content, people are like, oh, nah, oh, he hates games. I'm like, listen to yours, dude, you know, like, played 50 games in 2021 so far. People who love games, they played like 4. They're all playing Valorant and, you know, Among Us and Minecraft. That's it. Maybe Valheim. Maybe Valheim if they've really got their finger on the pulse. But, so don't tell me I don't like games, man. I'm just single-handedly keeping the indie side of Steam afloat. That's just overly braggadocious and not even remotely true, but, you know, it fit into the punchline a little bit. Please, I'm trying to make Empty Vessel a thing. Yeah, I think that's what I'm into, man. That's what I'm into, weird stuff. Blind taste test. Ooh, sick. Disgusting. You know, can I tell you something? I don't talk too much about TV because I don't watch too much TV. But lately, you know, the limited amount of television that I've watched, I've pivoted because there's no point in watching the Vancouver Canucks anymore. At least for this year. No disrespect, like I'm sure they're trying hard. But, you know, they're just not good enough right now. So, well, I was, you know, hanging out with the baby. I was watching HBO, and they were doing a marathon of a show I'd never seen before called Search Party. Stars comedian John Early, Alia Shawkat, who is maybe on Arrested Development, who, you know, if you want to feel old, I was shocked to find out is actually 1 year younger than me. Not because, like, oh, you know, it's nothing to do with her. It's rather like, oh, I remember watching you on television when I was a child, or a teenager at least, and you're younger than I am, and now you're like, this is like a mid-career pivot for you. That's crazy, man. But, hold on. What is this? Hagal is incredible. But I had no idea what was going on with the show. Actually found it quite fascinating. I watched like 3 episodes while I was, you know, occasionally picking up the baby because she fussed and then putting her back down like 15 minutes later when my arms got tired, and then rinsing and repeating that for hours and hours. Please, I would like Empty Vessel. We're still gonna crush this run. Don't get it twisted up. So if you're looking for something to watch, I mean, I only saw like 3 episodes of season 1, but I thought it was an interesting show. I also realized, like, man, I don't know what this says. I have not opened, pardon me, and we're kind of aberrant consumers in that, you know, not every consumer is going to have a 3-month-old baby. And also, not every consumer is going to be, you know, in the habit of, like, trying to, you know, watch a lot of investing content in order to get up to speed on the fundamentals of value investing. You know, that's not a flex. It's just, if anything, I would love to be like, actually, I'm very interested in electronic music or something like that. But that's not the way my brain works. Instead, my brain is like, oh, look at that balance sheet. Look at that balance sheet, KG. This thing was paying dividends when the dinosaurs still roamed the earth. The dinosaurs were getting drip off of this. That's Adam Sandler in Uncut Gems, but if he was interested in relatively low-risk, high-yield dividend stocks instead of Furbies with diamond eyeballs. Anyway, but I don't think I've opened Netflix, man, in like... That was very bad damage for the record, but I don't think I've opened Netflix since we finished The Queen's Gambit. And we finished The Queen's Gambit like 3 months after it came out. I've kind of ragged on Netflix a little bit. We've opened Disney Plus. We've been watching that WandaVision. I must admit that through the first, let's say, 3 episodes of WandaVision, I was kind of like biting my tongue. I got the joke, like especially the first 2 episodes that are just straight, you know, sitcoms. Like I watched Bewitched and I Love Lucy and stuff like that on Nick at Night. So I got it, don't get me wrong, but within the first 2 episodes, I was like, I think you might have made just a slight overcommitment to, like, the concept without getting to the execution, you know, in a fashion that, I don't know, keeps me from being like, what the heck am I doing here? I get that it's an artistic choice. You know, I'm not knocking it. And the last couple of episodes have been pretty, you know, they're doing the Marvel thing. Little teases and like, oh, what does this mean? But yeah, we've been opening Disney Plus for a little bit, for sure. But Netflix, man, I don't know. I think I just got, I ran up against my quota of, like, shows about people cooking food. That's really what it is. Every time you open up Netflix, Chef's Table, Barbecue, Chef's Table, Perfect Plate, The Final Plate, Chef's Plate, The Final Table. Kick A food, street food, Thailand, street food, Korea, street food, California. You know, it's just like, come on, man. I'm not, I mean, it's not that easy to make high-quality programming. Keep in mind the kind of programming that I make. But I'm like, I feel like that we've really, really gotten low on the quality, not quality, but the quantity of quality Netflix. Like, it's now, it's kind of become like my YouTube channel, you know, versus like Kurzagast or something like that, you know? Kurzagast, you got no problem subscribing to Kurzagast, because you're like, every video they publish is 10 minutes long, it's hyper-edited, I feel like I learned something, it's a positive thing for me, it's a positive thing for the world. My channel is more like, you know, the bargain bin at Walmart, you know? If you dig deep enough, you might find like a copy of Shaun of the Dead or something like that, but there's also a lot of trash. There's a lot of like, you know, Steven Seagal movies in there. And I thank everybody who's been on this journey with me. Don't get me wrong. I'm merely, you know, owning the fact that, like, not all of my content is for everybody. Maybe that means it's okay. I'm not actually really asking Netflix to make stuff exclusively for me. I think the other... Oh, we're actually gonna start losing lives here, which is fine. Like, the run is still very, very obviously great, but... I think I also got out of that phase where I was watching a lot of slow burn documentaries about unsolved murder cases. Did you see the spider that he shot out there, by the way? Like, that's the kind... Sinvicta would take that clip and slow it down and turn it into a GIF at like 1/16th speed. And he wouldn't be wrong. That's the crazy thing. 'Cause that was like... That was madness. But yeah, I kind of got over those I mean, I don't think there's necessarily anything wrong with them as long as they're not, you know, overly exploitative. A lot of them, people, and this is a common problem, but I feel like people don't actually interface with it. And then they go, well, they're exploitative because they're turning it into entertainment. Well, I don't know, like, is Schindler's List exploitative? I don't know. I mean, in some ways, I guess it's exploitative. It's profiting off of... Like, the dictionary definition is profiting off of someone else's suffering, but, you know, I think you can do it in a way that's tasteful and informative. Some stuff is like, you know, the borderline, like, slasher flick. And I'm like, man, that's like someone's, like, real family that you're like, and then you won't believe, and then they ate the brain, and, you know, like, it's pretty bad. But a lot of it, I actually think they treat it with a sensible amount of, like, maturity and decorum. It's the same thing, and again, it's pretty much on the same level as the people who are like, hey, you haven't been doing a lot of group content lately, so I haven't been watching. And I've been like, oh, really? What about the 2-hour Scribble session we did with Rob, Chib, Krendor, and Sipsa? What about the horror games that we played with Sipsa? What about the multiplayer RimWorld? And what about the, you know, what about the NBA 2K segment? And what about the... You know, just say it, okay? It's because there hasn't been as much mini-golf lately. All of a sudden, you're like, it turns out, you know, I thought I was here for the banter, but I'm just here for the mini-golf. If you don't watch it, how do you know if it's not the thing that you thought you wanted? Which I guess applies to me and Netflix as well. But okay, hold on. Let me just finish this one off, because this is the run we've been begging for days now. Literally, we will just walk into the boss. I don't even feel a need to use my tears, man. I don't even feel a need to use my tears. Look at that. That was a fun one. I feel rejuvenated. I can get my day started on the right foot now. For now, thanks for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you did, click the like button. It helps out a great deal. And, of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. For now, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. See ya!